Hey there. Yesterday we left off making some of these shapes. Not very impressive, but I definitely learned quite a bit. Um, how to make squares, rectangles, circles, ovals, triangles, inner tube looking things, trapezoids, and I don't know what this is, like a door. I thought today I could put those maybe together and make something that looks a little cooler. Um, I think I had this open yesterday as well. This is pretty neat. This is one of my many inspirations to do this. I just think it's so cool. This is in SVG, like I mentioned. I don't think that's the path I want to go down, at least not yet in my learning. I think I want to be able to handcraft these things myself in CSS, not using a tool like Photoshop or Sketch. I might end up that way if I can't do some of these complicated things, but I kind of want to learn the basics. So maybe I'll do one of these easy things here. Oh, that light just lit up, so do one of these. So maybe I'll make, looks like these are the same. Maybe I'll make one of these first. It's like a cool building looking thing. Maybe I'll do a couple more. We'll see how much time I have. But let's see how this goes. I mean, these are pretty basic shapes. This is a rectangle and a bunch more rectangles that are windows. And looks like there's a door down here. So let's get started. Let's do that. I think I'm going to keep these two things up so I can remember all my hard work that I did yesterday here. So I'll make a new code pen. And let's see. This background is nice gray. I guess I'll set that here. I use this tool called SIP to go get colors. And we'll just say the background is this. Beautiful. Okay, and let's make a building. Call it tower, maybe? It's like a tower. Alright, so a tower is a class, and its background color, well, maybe I should do height and width first. Height, I don't know, that's pretty high, 300 pixels, and the width is maybe, I don't know, 100 pixels. And I need a background color. Let's go get that. I guess I'll put this here. Use SIP again. Kind of thing. Hey, look, that's pretty nice. Probably a little wider, maybe 400 pixels. And I'm gonna make this just a little smaller, so I don't have to scroll. I have a pretty small. Oh, sorry. I meant to do this. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. I guess I'm not going to worry about making a ground yet. It's kind of weird that I can scroll this. But, okay. So that's my tower, and towers have windows, right? I guess these, well, I'll just make everything div. It'll be easier to think about. Two windows. All right, what's a window? Well, a window would, well, I want these things to like kind of span across this way. So maybe I could do an inline block so they go kind of fill its width as parent. And I don't know, maybe I'll give them like a percentage. No, we'll keep it easy. If I know the width is 100, I'm actually going to go a percentage. That might be easier. So a window is height of, I don't know, 10 pixels and a width of, what if I went like 33%? And a background color, color of the yellow. Oh, actually not yellow. It'll be of big stone is the color. And I'm just going to forgo the percentage right now. This is just going to be easier to do in pixels. I could probably make it all percentages later, but that's not really what I'm going for here. So if the total width is 150, maybe I'll go like 60 pixels. Yeah, that looks about right. And now I need to kind of position that in the middle. Oh, interesting. I have two windows here, but only one showing up, and that's because I believe they're over top of each other. Is that correct? So if I say window test, yeah, they're sitting right like on top of each other. So what I actually want to do is say display inline blocks. So they're next to each other. Great. And now I need some padding, and I'll do it on the tower, I think. So padding left would be maybe 40 pixels to the left. Oh, how about margin? Nope, definitely padding. So it made it fatter because it made padding on the maybe I want to do it on here. Padding. Well, I don't. We'll see what this looks like. Yeah, so maybe I can do a little bit of both. So I'll add some padding on my tower. Padding left would be 15 pixels, sure. Maybe I'll. So I think we talked about this yesterday with the rounded quarters, the border radius. Padding takes kind of the same arguments. It can take 4, it can take 2, it can take 1. And it goes clockwise, so the padding would be top, right, bottom, left. So maybe I'll give it like 30 on the top, maybe 25 on the top. And right now I only have one argument, so it's actually applying it to top, right, bottom, and left. Maybe 15 pixels on the right, 0 on the bottom, 15 on the left. Yeah, it looks good enough. Maybe I'll increase this a little more, like 25. How about 20? Maybe I'll make these 50. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, those look like windows. Okay, so if I make a bunch of these, I have a bunch of windows. We could probably use some sort of like camel or something to automate this. I could put this in a for loop. And we'll get there. One complicated thing at a time, though. Right now, we're just kind of handcrafting this whole thing. So that's cool. They had some of theirs lit, and it was like on a pattern. That was kind of neat. Maybe we could do that shortly here. But for now, let's get the class. So I'll give it a class of lit. Right now, it doesn't do anything, but if I say a lit, anything can be lit. A window lit, something else. That would just have like a yellow background color. That's going to be super ugly, but yeah, cool. So this lit will be saffron. It's beautiful. And for now, I guess I'll just kind of like randomly pick a couple lits. Pseudo randomly. Cool. Now that these are lit, I actually don't really like the width here. I think I want a little shorter. And if I do that, I probably need to bump these paddings up. Top right is to be left. Let's do this here. See if that goes. Yeah, it looks a little bit nicer to make this the same. That's my dog. I don't know if you can hear my dog coughing up a fur ball. Weird. Oh, because I only have padding on the left. So what if I do... that looks cool. Actually, that kind of looks like some of these. Make them square. I'll do that shortly here. But I actually want 0 on the top and bottom. No, that's not right. I want 20. What did I have before? Let's do it this way. That's cool, but I actually don't like how wide they are. So maybe I'll split this in half. Sweet. And I'll take these down. I should probably just make it not so wide, huh? Top, right, bottom, left. Yeah, I'm a little confused why there's more room over here than there is over here. Let's think about this for a second. What is doing that? Padding left, padding right. Oh, sure. Okay, so if I make it, yeah. All right. Cool. So that's okay. What does this look like? It's a little wider, and everything's just a little bit bigger. So maybe I'll put that back. So I kind of did all this in vain, but that's okay. That's cool, and then I'll make these windows a little bigger. And I'll put the padding on the left a little bigger. And that's way too wide. Increase my padding left a little more. Alright. Alright, I can deal. The left is more than the right. That's going to bother the heck out of me. So I'll just push this over a whole lot. Oh, that was neat. You see that? I can kind of shift this how this is. That's pretty cool. I wonder if there's a better way to do this. Like center these things. Alright. So now I need the door. The door is down here. And now that I look at this, these are a little rounded. Not a whole lot though. I'll get just a little bit. Border radius, like 3 pixels. Doesn't look any nicer. No, it's too much. How about 1? Yeah, it's a little softer. Cool. And we'll do the same thing for the tower. Just a little rounded. Okay, cool. So now I need a door. Div class is door. What does the door do? The door is another. I'll take this just cause. And let's see. I'll just do the same padding game, I guess. I kind of want it in the middle here, something like this. Or something. So, I don't know, if the window is 8 pixels, maybe this could be 40 pixels. And I need a background color. Right now, I'll just make it like green. Yeah, that's cool. Alright. And the width will be, sure, 70 pixels. Maybe 100 pixels. and I will give it a margin top of maybe, I don't know, 15 pixels, just to put it down flat here. Yeah, that was actually a pretty good guess. Oh, I gotta scroll. That sucks. About 15. It says like 30. 25. Good enough, and I'll give it oh, was I doing padding? Probably do more. Okay, well, yeah. Too much. Cool, that's pretty nice. I bet I could get 2 more windows out of here, which would make my margin top come down like so. Cool, and then what color is that thing? Blue Lagoon. Interesting. That is a tower. I mean, more or less. I just kind of had a brain fart here. I think I was messing with the wrong. Yeah, okay. Actually looks pretty cool. Yeah, I was fiddling with the padding here. So we'll keep it how it is, it's fine. But now it's gonna bother me. So the width is really, so I was messing with the padding, and what the padding was doing, the padding is inside the element, so it's actually making the whole element longer. What I really wanted is a margin here. And what a margin will do is move the entire div, in this case the margin was left, move the entire div to the left, but without actually making the element any bigger. So padding is inside the element, margin is outside the element. So really, I think what I wanted here is margin, because what I want is just to move it away from the left wall of the tower. And what you'll see now is the width is truly 25, which makes way more sense. So I'll put these back to like 75 pixels. Cool, maybe 65 pixels. Yeah, and now the margin left can just be like maybe 16, so that'd be 2, well, 15, 14, 13. That's pretty nice, and then make these a little smaller so they line up. All right. Yeah, okay, that makes way more sense. Cool. So from here I can go a couple more directions. I think I want to build another tower before I start animating these lights. I have a couple options animating lights. I can probably do it in jQuery. In my mind, that would be the easier way to do it. Could do it in plain JavaScript too, but I know how to do those things. And what I really want to learn is maybe some CSS animations, which I think I can loop over and over and over again. I think that'd be the most fun to learn. But before I do that, maybe that's a video for another day. Let's build another one of these. This one's pretty cool. It has some perspective, an interesting perspective. I'm not quite sure how I'd do that yet. Maybe some CSS transforms. This one's pretty interesting too. I kind of want to do this one. This looks fun. I wonder, is this really like 3 towers in one? Or should I treat it as 1 tower? Let's see. Okay. So I'm going to make another thing. And we're going to call this, so they're both towers. All right, so let's think about this. I need to name these. Naming is hard. I'm going to give it a building, I guess. And buildings will get display. I feel like I've been display inline blocking a lot of things lately. But the reason I'm doing this is because I want the buildings to be next to each other, not above each other. So let's just actually, let's watch what happens if I don't do this. I'm going to make another div class of, what should this be called? This is like, if this is a tower, I don't know, this is an apartment. It's stupid, but it'll work for now. Apartment. And let's see, if the height of the first one was 300, maybe this will be 200, so apartment height is 200. Width is, let's just mess around with something for now, and the color is yellow, background color is yellow. Yeah, so it's like down here, that's silly. So if I put this back, now hopefully it's not. So I just have to give this building as well. And now it should go over here, hopefully. Nope. Whoa. Yeah, okay, cool. That's also interesting. That is up here. Okay, weird. So I want to go down here. So right now, and this is kind of a hack, but if the height is 200, so these things are starting up here, I'm going to give it like a margin top of 100 and they should be flush. No. Just push everything down. And if I made this 300, odd. What the heck, we're the same thing. Height is 300 on that, and height is 300 on here. They have tidy up in here. JS Fiddle has tidy up. Nah. Maybe? No. Okay. Alright, so what the heck? I said apartment, which is this. And it's just chilling up here, which is crazy to me. So let's see, what do we got here? The tower has a padding of this. If I take this out, what happens? Nope. Still chilling. And I give it a bunch of windows, which have nothing, and then I give it some lit, and I give it a door. So let's think about this door. I give it some margins. 40, so if I say this is 340, I'm just trying to like do the math in my head and like why the heck is this down here? If I give this a building, I'm sorry, a tower, they should be the same thing. No, they're still not. Alright, so what am I missing? It must be what's in here. Are the windows pushing it down? If so, we can fix the windows. Weird. Okay, so something with the windows is making this all messed up. So a window has a height and a width. Oh, okay. So if I take this off, no, still. Display in block. I've been using inline block a lot. I didn't really know, why would that mess with it? So that would like move stuff down. It's so odd. Let's Google that. W3 schools. The display property, how about this one? And then there's Chris Coyer. Let's read a little bit about this. Sure, there's block elements and inline elements. Great. Thanks, W3 schools. Don't care. Extra credit. Not very helpful. Okay. characteristics of block, but sits on a line. What if I do display inline and not block? What the heck? They just are gone. Okay. And if I display block, well, that's the default. Yeah, they all just sit there. And inline block is that. I wonder. Kind of using the tricks that I had made yesterday. Just give it a border, like. Interesting, but it still takes up space, which makes sense. Okay. But it moves. That like drives me nuts. It moves down. Does it keep moving down the more and more windows I add? Because that would be annoying. So like, are they pushing each other? I'm not sure, but this time it like pushed up. Huh. Weird. All right, so obviously I have a lot to learn here. Why things would be kind of pushing down on this and like moving the whole element, that doesn't really make any sense to me. And definitely is not what I thought I'd get stuck on today. So my first thought is like, well, okay, if these are like taking up space or whatever, I learned a little bit yesterday that I can make a border bottom of 8 pixels, and that'll be my height or whatever. And I'll give that a color. Oops, I'll give that a color. Cool. And I'll make these both. Well, before I do that, and then I'll give it a border right of 60 pixels because that'll be my width. So now it's all ugly. But then I'll set this to 0 and this to 0. Will it sit? No, it still goes down. Okay. Sweet. And then my lit breaks. All right. Wow. So I'm just causing all sorts of issues. Why does that move? Why? I don't want you to move. Let's go like look at this. Oops. Open the DevTools. Thought I was clicking the right thing, but it wasn't. Okay. So let's look at this thing. Oh, that's so freaking weird. Sure. And then there's that, and then that. If I delete that, that goes up. Oh. Weird. Okay, so I'm going to save this just to refresh. So if I move this over, it'll go back to normal? Okay. All right. Wow, that was like a rabbit trail for no reason. Let's find out why this is pushing on it. So sure. If I move it over, no, that's not. totally kosher. The building's inline block, sure. So sometimes when I'm debugging this stuff, I'll just kind of mess with this to see how I can get it to go back to normal. That's so weird. So just chilling up there. Totally just hanging out. And there's nothing I can do about it. I'm doing the inline style here. Oh, this is done. Okay. Let me get test class. And I'll say test. So what can we do on this building tower looking thing to make this not suck? We already know that. And if I change it back to block, what happens? It goes down there. So what options do I have? Inline, inline block, and block. Do inline. Now it's just chilling. Like that. This doesn't make any sense because it has a width and a height. Great. So this isn't it. If we give it some padding, this is just going to make it fatter. If I give it some margin, this will move it over, but it doesn't do anything. What the heck? I just don't understand. What is moving that this way? So that's that, and this is this. Put that there, that's cool. There's nothing to it, man. If I take out all these windows, it keeps going down just cause. And then it came up. Okay. All right. So what if I just make these inline, like so? Oh, okay. Gotta refresh. I deleted all the friggin' windows. I'm stumped. Goes even lower. For all the things to get stuck on, this is not what I thought I'd get stuck on. No one's here to help. Okay, let's take a step back. When I take out all the windows, things are cool. When I put in a window, it goes nuts. A window looks like this. What is it about my window? It's the display inline block. It just futzing with it. So, okay, so we narrowed it down. So if I take my dev tools back and take that thing off, look at that. Okay, all right. So at this point, I'm gonna start. How does like Bootstrap do it? Bootstrap is like. Basically, I want like a grid. The grid system. And it's these looking things. Like I want all these things to go in. Yep. So how are these? I'm gonna move this down this way. Okay, so one of those columns. Yeah, one of these. Okay. So you give it a width, and you say float left. I haven't done a whole lot with floats, but let's do it. So let's fix this. So if I float them left, what does it do? Huh. Okay. Hilarious. So that's cool, I guess. I want this. It says a width and a float. So if I mess that, it's like, oh, it goes out of whack. Okay. And then you say position relative, which I believe it already is. So it didn't do anything, nor did I expect it to. And then it has some padding, which I don't need, and that really won't mess anything up anyways. Yeah. And a display block instead of inline block. Okay. So if I display block and float left, what happens? Do I just do that? Okay. All right. So then if I give these a, nope, not on the tower, on the window. I guess I can give it a margin of bottom. And you put that 8 pixels. Now we'll lay it. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, great. Learned something. So this door, does this also float left? Ha, okay. And now, wow, that was rough. We're gonna have to go back and kind of visit what the heck I did. Thank you, Bootstrap. I don't need this anymore because it's already doing that. And I guess I can just extend these just a little bit. Yeah, cool. Wow, man, that was tough. But I used something I knew worked. Bootstrap's super heavy. I don't really want to use it for what I'm doing, but it's a great thing to learn from, especially viewing the source. Okay, so where was I? That was a little detour. So before that's all done, let's just read about floats, CSS floats. It's like old knowledge, but let's all about floats. I'm gonna read this for a second. In page layout programs, the boxes that hold the text can be told to honor the text wrap or ignore it. Ignoring the text wrap will allow the words to flow right over the image like it wasn't even there. Yeah, that sounds dumb. ignoring the text wrap will allow the words to flow right over the image like it wasn't even there. Okay, so that's like not what you want to do. So float left goes over here, float right goes over here. All right, makes sense. In web design, page elements with the CSS float property applied to them are just like the image and layout. So if I float all my windows left, and again, this isn't page layout, we're like totally misusing CSS. Maybe not misusing it, but this definitely probably wasn't what whoever was making or designing this cascading style sheet spec thought people might be doing, making freaking buildings with lights on them, but we're going to give it a shot. So if I float left, I'm pushing everything over here and it's kind of sitting there. How is that different than inline block? I don't really know. But float left, I guess, seems a little more lightweight, just saying, like, everything just kind of float over here. I wonder if the same thing will happen if I float everything right. Like, oh, interesting. Oh, wait, that's the... Probably nothing. Oh, it just moves over a little bit. Sure, okay. So that's cool. We'll leave it there. What else can you teach me? Sidebar, float right. Left, right, none, and inherit. None is the default. Ensures the element will not float. And inherit, which will assume from its parent. What does it mean not to float? None. Doesn't float. And what does inherit do? Fascinating. All right. I guess in English, well, we're not even English. I was going to say you float everything on the left because you're English. In another language that would read from the right, you float things right. But that doesn't make any sense because we're designing buildings. Left, right, left. Refloat to fit. Okay, obviously I have a lot to learn. I'm not going to read this whole thing right now. Oh, there's screencast. See, Chris Quarter is the man. I should probably watch this at some point. You can watch me watch Chris Quarter.
Looks like column. It's about 2/3 maybe of the width of this area.
Yep. Cool. Thanks, Chris. I'll watch this later. I'll start just for you. Yes. All right. So back to our building. Where were we? Yeah, I want to make a yellow building that looks like this, and I called it apartment. So I don't need this anymore, and this is called apartment. This feels nice now that I don't have to fight this, and that apartment's yellow. And I don't need this anymore. And what I really want is this color. Did I already get that saffron? That. Beautiful. Yeah, what I really want to do is do this. Will that work? No. No. I'm going to have a different kind of window, obviously, with different colors. So I was just trying to say the windows of the tower are this. And I wanted to say, like, the windows of the tower and they're lit. But that's not how you do it in CSS. So CSS check if two classes, sure. So if it has window and lit dot. Oh, so just no space, huh? Window dot lit. Look at that. Okay. Thanks, Stack Overflow. All right. So this apartment has. Did I call this tower? That's hilarious. because I want to say something like tower 1, but that's confusing. But that's kind of what it is. It's tower 1. Gosh darn it. All right, what's this called? This is oh, this is a tower. All right, fine. Tower 1 and tower 2 and tower 3. All right. So this apartment no longer has anything. But if there's an apartment and there's a tower I'm going to call it like a wing instead of a tower because that's just super confusing. All right, so if there's a wing, that thing has some colors. Okay, now a wing. Wing 1 will be, I don't know, 75 pixels wide and 150 tall. Maybe 200. Cool. Wing 2 will be a little taller, so probably same width, huh? So width 75 and height of 250. So they'll all be this. And do I need to say line block? Ooh, or should I say flow left? Maybe I'll try this. Yeah, okay. All right. Still getting used to this stuff, so I don't need this anymore. Don't need this anymore. And wing 3 will be back to 75. Height is 75. So I just moved all the common stuff here, so I don't have to type it all the time. Oh, that's actually 150. 200? Yeah, okay. There's some space there. We don't want that. That's probably, well, that's margin. So that's how I know it's margin, not padding. Because margin's outside the block, so I can say margin 0. Nope. Nope, can't do that. Can't do that apparently. Great. Why not? Margin left, 0 pixels. Margin right, 0 pixels. Just smushed together. Nothing. Let's find out why. Well, let's put this back to the right. What's the deal? What the heck? You're right. I'm thoroughly confused. I have an apartment. Which has a wing. No, it's not padding. It's like totally not padding. Okay. Is it on the apartment itself? No. Why would those be that way? Is it my choice of inline block? What if I say left? Display inline block and flow left. cool, but now they're up there. So why does inline block do that? If I can say inline, what does that do? It goes away. Like, this is absolutely 0 pixels. Like, absolutely. So why? This doesn't even tell me. That's like so confusing. Drawing in CSS is no joke, everybody. No joke at all. Margin left, 0 pixels. So I want them to be together. Let's think about this. There's no reason why there should be space. I guess I can fake it if I make them super fat. Nope. Holy cow, what is that? It looks beautiful, but I need you to go together. And I have no idea. What the heck is this? Oh, right. Alright. Oh my gosh, I'm just so confused. There is spaces between these things. So if we don't do this, I get this. Cool. Alright, so let's work backwards. They just sit on top of each other. So I learned this trick, and that's cool. But it's upside down. So, I mean, I can cheat. No, I can't even do this. Oh, yes, I can, actually. So I can do a transform rotate 180 degrees. Nope. CSS transform rotate. Yep, totally got it right. Transform rotate. I spell something wrong? Oh, wait. What did I get wrong? How are those different? Transform rotate. I'm having a bad day because those look exactly the same. Okay. So it's telling me that 180 degrees isn't quite going to work. Oh, no, I want to transform rotate the whole thing. Will this work? So I feel like a huge cheater. But float left came at me again. Just to kind of revisit this. I don't know how to put it there. Just to, if I display inline block, there's frickin' spaces. So let's find out. Remove margin on display inline block. Looks like someone has searched this before. Man, CSS tricks at it again. What we want is the elements to butt up against each other. Remove the spaces. 3 need to get spaces because you have spaces between the elements. Minimize HTML will solve this problem. What? You gotta be kidding me. Or the negative margin. Okay, so I haven't used that. So what that's saying is, no way. That is incredible. How annoying is that? But I haven't used this yet. If we do a negative margin to the, I don't know, to both sides, 4 pixels, except negative. Yeah. Fascinating. And then I think I want to put a little bit of margin on the buildings as well. Okay. Wow. Okay. So a couple different ways to solve that. I didn't really like the rotate trick because it just didn't make any sense to me why this was happening. Let's go back. Thanks, Chris Corey, again. But it's saying because there's freaking spaces in my HTML, and therefore there's spaces in my elements. All right. So now I just need to give some windows, and then this will be done. So these are nice and square. That's pretty cool. So let's just put some windows here. Is there a door on this one? No, there's not. Cool. And those all have that. And so I guess I'll put this here. So if it's an apartment and a wing and a window, not and, but like the apartment's the above thing, the wing is the one below, and then the wings have windows. I don't know, height's 25, width 25, and I'll just set the background color to like purple or something. Look at that. It's probably can go 20. What do you think? Now they're a little wider. Cool. And give that some space. Might be too much. We'll find out. It probably is. Let me get the actual color here. Hot Toddy, this color is called. That's not right. Is it? It looks okay, I guess. It's the Hot Toddy. Alright. What happens if I put another window here? Does it fit? Nope, it doesn't. So let's make these a little smaller. Oh, I have to float left these things. Okay. And if I make these small, okay, cool. So, oh, the margin's super fat. I actually want the margin, yeah, the top can be 8 and the bottom, but left and right can be 4. Yeah, cool. How about 6? Yeah, nice. They're actually pretty small. Three. And we'll make them not so tall. And I actually want to make the margin on the wing, and padding on the wing, 0 and like 4 pixels. No, let's just make it fatter. They have negative margin. Oh my gosh. Okay. Alright, that's cool. So if we get a bunch of these. Should have a bunch, and that's so big. So 8's fine on the top, 2 on the bottom, and 5 back on the left. Too tall. Cool. and these will just go all the way down. Too many. Awesome. Yeah, maybe one less. And the size is actually not as nice looking as these. These are just fatter and shorter. And there's border races. I should probably make a wing class, huh? Or sorry, not a wing class, a window class. So let's make one. If I have a building, I want a window. And the windows have a couple things. They have float left, so I don't need this here. And they have that nice border radius of, I think, one pixel, which I can take out here. Oops. Where's my wing window? Yep, here we go. So that's that. Yeah, that'll do. I think my wings are just a little too fat. And I'll make everything just a little smaller. That's a little more cuter. All right, so this will be the exact same window count on wing 3. Great, and wing 2 will have a little bit more. I hope that's an even number. How does that work? Are they just a little bit fatter? Or is the margin bigger? Let's... That's not doing anything. Well, that's annoying. Why isn't that pushing anything down? Okay. So, wait, I don't understand at all. Wing 2, if I put a margin top, everything should push down. No? Must be going crazy. Why wouldn't it? I could put like a spacer here, that'd be stupid. I don't want to do this at all. Now push everything down. Okay. And now I can take some of these off. Look at that. It's close. Alright, so I just want to mess with these paddings just a little bit. Make it just a little nicer. Cool. That's my second building. What does it look like? Actually, the padding right is bigger. But I changed the padding left. kind of like that, but let's make it a little bigger. And put this back to that. Cool, that's my apartment. Okay, well, I learned a lot. I learned that floating things left doesn't take all the room that inline does. I also learned that if I have some troubles with the way things are lining up, it's actually the spaces in my HTML that can be either solved by not putting space in your HTML or giving a negative margin. This drawing stuff in CSS isn't easy, but starting to learn, starting to make some stuff. So I'm probably done on this example. We'll see what I get next. I could probably make all these, except maybe this perspective one, which we'll leave. Oh, and this too. This is pretty cool. Maybe I'll try to make one of these next. But leave your comments and see what you want to see. But I'm learning as I go. Talk to you tomorrow.